What's up, YouTube? I had a couple people suggest that I attempt my Nexus 6P bend video a second time. There seems to be some question on whether the lighter compromised the structural integrity of the phone before it snapped in half. So I figure it's only fair if we did the test over again. Everyone needs an expensive hobby, right? So it's really easy to jump on YouTube and pretend to make a bend test video where your phone survives. Having an honest, comprehensive durability testing system is a bit harder to find. Just like cars have safety ratings, phones should be tested for durability, and that's where I come in. I'm equally prejudiced against all devices. It either survives my tests, or it doesn't. I've done tests on all of the recent flagships so far, and most phones survives. Only 2 phones so far have not. So let's jump in and do the Nexus 6P again. As a side note, if you're having problems seeing any of the logos on the phones, go ahead and bump up your video quality to 1080p. Or, maybe it's time to just upgrade your monitor. So, there are 3 fatal structural flaws in the Nexus 6P. Down here at the bottom of the phone, there is an aluminum midframe inside the phone that is supposed to add rigidity to the device, and it does, kinda. The flaw is that the aluminum frame is not actually screwed in or attached to the back housing of the 6P. They are completely free-floating separate entities, so the aluminum frame is just chilling down there inside of the device. The only thing holding the aluminum midframe to the rear of the phone is a super thin piece of glass on top of the device, right here at the bottom, and a few plastic dovetail joints inside. And even though it is Gorilla Glass 4, the glass is not designed to structurally adhere aluminum chunks together. Luckily, you guys will be able to see the plastic dovetail joints I'm talking about in just a few seconds. The second design flaw, in combination with the first, is the thinness of the sidewalls on the 6P rear aluminum back. If the aluminum back and midframe were solidly screwed together, the thinness wouldn't be an issue, but since the midframe freely floats right out of the rear frame when it's bending, the sidewalls of the rear frame become super worthless all by their lonesome. The third flaw, and the absolute weakest point of the phone, is right here by the power button. The battery stops here, and the motherboard stops here. There is such a small bit of aluminum holding this together, it's insane. This allows for the perfect kinking point in the middle of the phone. Now before I start, I just want to reiterate that if you treat your phone nice, you'll have 0 problems with it bending, especially if you have it in a case. But remember, the smartphone is the most accidentally abused piece of equipment on the planet. You sit on it, accidentally drop it, step on it. It's important to know how durable it is before you buy it. Cars have a safety rating for a reason. It's good to know what to expect before you buy it. Nobody plans on wrecking their car, but it's good to know it's safe if you do. Now let's find out what we can expect from the Nexus 6P. Let me show you those small dovetail joints I was talking to you about before. You can see right here, this is the free-floating aluminum back that I was talking about. Luckily, I have another phone here with the same issue. Weird how that works, huh? So you want to know where I learned about dovetail joints? My high school beginner's woodworking class. It must have been brainstorming amateur hour at Huawei when they suggested joining aluminum and plastic with a woodworking joint. Down here at the bottom of the phone, you can see here are the tiny little plastic dovetails that are supposed to keep this phone intact. Remember that any positive thing anyone has ever said about this phone is probably still true. Just because it has one fatally significant hardware flaw doesn't make it a terrible phone. Just treat it nicer than you normally would. There are phones that bend in half and there are phones that don't bend in half. The Nexus 6P is just one of the phones that bend in half. My buddy Max Lee has a channel, High on Android, and he did a rather interesting bend test video if you haven't seen it yet. Definitely go check out his channel. He put 90 pounds of pressure right on top of this Nexus 6P. It was super lucky that his bend test rig sat right on top of this dovetail joint and kept it pinched together during the test. Otherwise he would have lost his phone as well. Lucky guy. Not as lucky as me though. I am now the proud owner of 2 Nexus 6Ps. Durability test videos like this one aren't a waste of time. They're what spark changes in the cell phone industry. If nobody caught flaws, improvements would never be made. I bet Google never uses this plastic dovetail joint again. Here's the other flaw I was talking about. Right here next to the power button is the weakest piece of aluminum holding this phone together. The motherboard's on this chunk of the device, the battery's on this chunk of the device, and the aluminum in the middle is the perfect bending point between the two. Here's another look at those dovetail joints that are supposed to be connecting with this back plastic piece to the aluminum midframe. And here's the front glass that is also supposed to be helping to hold the whole phone together. Thanks a ton for watching. Like any typical YouTuber, it would be great if you subscribed to my YouTube channel. It would also make me feel all special and stuff if you followed my Instagram. Thanks a ton for watching. Let me show you those small dovetail joints I was talking to you about before.